Bienvenue à tous. Welcome to Reporters, our program that gives you the very best of France 24 from all around the world. President Obama has laid out the plans for the withdrawal of US troops from Afghanistan. It's been a 10-year campaign that has become less and less backed by the American people because of the cost. That's both in human and financial terms. Looking after Afghanistan will become the job of the Afghan people. Our reporters travelled to Bamyan, one of the 3 provinces under Afghan control. It's a place known worldwide, chiefly after the Taliban destroyed 2 huge Buddhas there. Now that was March 2001, and it was the Taliban's message of defiance to the world. 10 years on, Bamyan's become a window on Afghanistan, peaceful, without the Taliban, but also without war. France 24's Sylvain Rousseau has been to witness a part of Afghanistan at peace and getting on with life.
An improvised photo shoot with a gun over the shoulder, an American GI plays the tourist in Afghanistan. In fact, we're just 250 kilometers from Kabul, in a country where soldiers' deaths are an everyday occurrence.
Pretty good. Are you going up the... No, I'm not. We're not. Okay.
Here in Bamiyan, there's no need for bulletproof vests. However, the province has seen its fair share of suffering in the past. The Taliban's last offensive in 2001 left 15,000 people dead and 2 gaping wounds in the landscape, where a pair of 1,500-year-old giant Buddha statues once stood. The famous Buddhas of Bamiyan were destroyed in March of that year. The Taliban saw them as sacrilegious and forbidden under their hardline Islam.
Foreign visitors and Afghans alike. Everyone was fascinated by the Buddhas, so people came to visit them, and that's the biggest loss around here.
Hamza Yousofi is the guardian of the little that did survive. The workers are busy gathering up all that is left of one 53-metre-high Buddha, which was once the tallest in the world. The remains are carefully stored away. The site is managed by UNESCO, who say the Buddhas could, perhaps, be reconstructed one day. The Taliban took a month to destroy this World Heritage Site, using artillery rounds and even bombs.
This is shrapnel from the bombs.
250-kilo bombs, the kind normally dropped by military airplanes.
Look at this piece. It's enormous. There are some smaller ones, but this is the biggest bit we've managed to extract from the stone. There was more than one. They planted them everywhere.
Ash is 16, and like the other 60,000 people who live here in the regional capital of Bamyan, he's an ethnic Hazara. The Hazara are descended from Genghis Khan warriors. And this, the main street, is where they meet up. It's an historic trading exchange on the ancient Silk Road. As followers of Shia Islam, the Hazara are a minority in this mainly Sunni country. The Taliban loathe Shiites and say that they are not true Muslims. The community has suffered years of persecution, and Hazara people have obtained pariah status.
Hazara peoples are Shiite Muslims, and the Tajiks and Pashtuns and Uzbeks are Sunni Muslims. We believe that the Shiite Muslim is a good Muslim, but they believe most of the fundamentalist Muslim thinks that the Shiite Muslims are infidels. So that was the reason that the Taliban was killing Hazaras, that because we are infidels, who looks different.
In fact, Hazara account for just over 10% of the Afghan population. But despite their numbers, they were still attacked by the Taliban. 3 mass graves were discovered in 2009. Ash escaped the massacres by fleeing into the mountain.
My brother, I don't know where he heard from, but he said that the Taliban will be here around 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So if we can leave here at the 3 or 4 o'clock at night, we will be able to hide in the back of the mountains, which the Taliban will not be able to find us for a long time. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. We were exhausted because we were very tired because of walking. So we walked all the way there. And we get to my father's friend's family.
At the time, Ash was just 6 years old. His was a lucky escape, on the back of a mule. His uncle, however, numbered among the 15,000 dead.
I saw my uncle, that they put my uncle in the back of the truck and they took him. And I saw the truck drive to there, and it was the truck was the back of the truck. There was a man, and also commander get out of the truck and command the guys that was in the back of the truck to shoot at them. So the Taliban shoot at my uncle. So we come to the village and we saw that the bodies of we saw the dead bodies, and the body was buried and was shot, and it was stink. It smelled something very bad. That was the moment that I was experienced during Taliban.
After 10 years of NATO protection, the Hazara are now in charge of their own safety. This is the ANP, the Afghan National Police. Habiba Sarabi is the provincial governor and insists on showing off her forces to us.
These are your children. There are only 30 right now. We don't have any more.
Ah, I thought there were more. Look after yourselves.
Bamyan represents a version of Afghanistan that NATO would like to draw attention to. This was one of the first regions to pass into Afghan control. The fact that the Taliban never returned here is all down to the Hazara. In total, just 740 police officers will be responsible for the security of 350,000 inhabitants.
Look, the staff we are dealing with here are very competent. They know their business. They just need a bit of a hand up and some guidance on some of the concepts of policing. How that works long term is entirely up to the people of this province.
As part of our PR campaign, the governor proudly points out the female members of the police ranks. There are 4 in total who have chosen to exchange their burqas for a man's uniform, but many keep hold of their veil.
We don't have any problems here because Bamiyan is the safest province in the whole of Afghanistan. The people here are fundamentally good and they want to see more women in the police.
And as the local police are shown off, women are very much in the limelight. Today's drill: to search an empty house and find weapons.
Hello, we're from the police. We've come to search your house. We believe you're hiding weapons.
The search starts with these fake homeowners. The officers go through the main living room of the house. There's nothing under the mattress. And this hole in the wall isn't hiding a rocket launcher.
There's nothing there.
After a 2-minute-long superficial search, the exercise is over. Major Zaman insists that they have no more need for NATO assistance here.
We're not afraid of them. We'll fight them if they come back. They've ruled this country for 10 years, and we've fought them back. Now we have a real police force, an army, and we'll take them on face to face.
The governor shares his confidence. In 2005, Habiba Sarabi became the first Afghan woman ever voted in as leader of a province. She's spent the last 6 years preparing for this moment.
People are very supportive in helping the security in Bamyan. For example, if they can see some strange people coming or entering to their village, they are reporting to the police. If they are seeing some immunization somewhere or something, and they are reporting to the police and to the governor's office. So this is the type of coordination that make us easy, make us the job easy.
It's time for Ash to go to his lessons. He'll finish school soon and hopes to go on to university. Ash sees it as a way of avoiding the army. He hopes to become a doctor.
We don't have a room like a classrooms, an official classroom for the students. That's why we're using tents, and most of the people are very happy.
4,200 pupils come here to Bamyan school to learn their lessons in battered tents, and with whatever assistance NGOs can offer them.
People standing in under the tents, they know that education is very important. That's why they're suffering the sunshine, they're suffering the warm weather, they're suffering everything. They're suffering walking 40 minutes from home on foot to get in the school and study under the tent. Education is Hazara's weapons against Taliban. If they hit us with a gun, we'll hit them with a pin.
This is the region's only microscope. The Hazara place a great deal of importance on education. Under the Taliban, there was no schooling, and the province as a whole is trying to get the education system back up and running.
Education helps us progress in life. Education helps us advance. Because our government and society as a whole always rejected us. That's why we want to get an education and improve our position in society.
Tourism, security and education. These are the things Bamyan is banking on for its development. 2 hours' drive from the city is Afghanistan's first ever national park. Welcome to Bamyan. With its mountains, waterfalls and lakes, it's a veritable picture postcard in a country that's at war. For the time being, the sole attraction is these few pedal boats. Saeed Mohammed Moussawi has little else to offer. There's no tourism infrastructure.
Economically, Bamyan is very poor, much worse off than the other Afghan provinces. But in terms of security, we're far better off than the others. If the province can stay as safe as it is right now, well, everything will improve. Most of the Pashtun provinces are dangerous. Here, well, this will become the best part of Afghanistan.
Until that happens, these Afghan soldiers will likely remain the only tourists who make the trip. Soldiers ready to protect peace in a region where war no longer exists.
Sylvain Rousseau is here in the studio. Sylvain, the Afghan authorities in charge, the police, for example, are they ready for the job?
For the time being, yes, they are ready. Afghan police is ready to keep peace in areas where there is no war. For the time being, it's not more complicated than that. The Afghan police was made from nothing by NATO forces, and in Bamyan, for example, also in Panjshir, another province who will pass through Afghan authority, there is no Taliban, but not because of NATO forces, only because local population. So yes, the Afghan police is ready in those specific areas, but if the Taliban come back, it will be another story. All the people we met in Bamyan agree about that. If the Taliban come back, no one, neither the police or the army, will be able to defeat them, to stop them.
So that's the nightmare, a return of the Taliban. Is that possible, Sylvain?
Not yet, not now. The Taliban are very busy in all provinces around Bamyan, like in Wardak, to fight NATO forces. So there is a lot of NATO forces all around Bamyan, and they keep Bamyan safe from the Taliban. They are fixing the Taliban outside Bamyan. But in 3 years, when NATO forces will leave Afghanistan, yes, the Taliban might come back in Bamyan, but it won't be only a local problem. It will be an all Afghanistan problem.
The reconstruction of the Buddhas that were destroyed, now this is something that clearly people would like to see done. Is that going to be possible?
It's in the hands of UNESCO. They are in charge of the site. They are financing it. They are financing the recuperation of the debris, of the big stones you can see at the beginning of the report. And for the time being, they are busy fixing the hole of the Buddhas in the mountain to not let the mountain collapse after the Taliban explosions to destroy the Buddhas. About the Buddhas, there are three possibilities. The first one is to leave the site like it is now, with nothing, thinking that the destruction of the Buddhas and the Taliban are a part of Bamyan history. The other option are to rebuild the entire Buddha, just like they were in the 6th century, or to rebuild them partially, only with the big stones they managed to bring from the debris. It is, for the time being, the chosen solution by UNESCO, but in a country like Afghanistan, having a long-term project is something very hard.
So clearly a massive thing there. Sylvain, thank you very much for your insights on a part of Afghanistan that few people know, but clearly is laying down a marker for the future. Sylvain Rousseau, thank you very much indeed. Thank you for watching this reporter's programme as well, which you can see again via our website, France24.com, in 3 languages, of course, French, English and in Arabic. This is Reporters. You're watching France 24. Stay with us.